Welcome back to KBUZZPOP, your home for the most heart-touching, surprising, and unforgettable moments in the world of Asian entertainment. Today, we dive deep into a story that isn't just about fame, careers, or the glittering spotlight of the entertainment industry. It's about something even more precious: true friendship and unwavering support. The story of Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan is one that fans have cherished for years. But what lies beneath the surface is something far more moving than what the cameras often show. It's about love, not necessarily the romantic kind everyone speculates about, but a love rooted in loyalty, trust, and being there for one another when the world feels heavy. Get ready, because love without the spotlight, Wang Yibo is there when Xiao Zhan needs him most, will not only stir your emotions but also make you rethink what it means to stand beside someone when the lights are off and the crowd has gone home. Now, let's imagine together. You're walking into the lives of two of China's most celebrated stars, men who have millions of fans, who trend worldwide every time their names are mentioned, and who are constantly under the microscope of public opinion. But when we strip away the fame, the flashing cameras, the red carpets, what do we really see? We see Wang Yibo, a man of few words but profound actions, and Xiao Zhan, someone who has weathered storms bigger than most could imagine. And at the heart of it all, a friendship that refuses to be broken. Think back to when the Untamed first brought them together. That drama wasn't just a hit, it was a phenomenon. Fans fell in love with Wei Wuxian and Lan Wangji, and just like that, Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo were thrust into superstardom. The world adored their chemistry, but behind the scenes, something real was quietly forming, a bond. Now, let's pause for a moment and ask, how many friendships in this industry truly survive when fame tests them? How many withstand rumors, controversies, and the endless spotlight? This is where Yibo and Xiao Zhan's story stands apart. When Xiao Zhan faced perhaps the darkest period of his career, when controversies shook his world and silence seemed safer than speaking, who stood quietly but firmly by his side? Wang Yibo. He didn't need to make grand public statements. He didn't need to post hashtags or join trends. Instead, he chose the kind of support that can't always be measured in words: the private check-ins, the quiet reassurance, the presence that reminds you, you are not alone. Doesn't that kind of love speak louder than any headline? Fans often say that Yibo is not expressive, that he rarely shows his emotions openly. But have you noticed how his actions reveal more than words ever could? In interviews, when Xiao Zhan's name is mentioned, Yibo's lips curve into that faint smile. On stage, during events, there are those subtle glances between them, short, fleeting, but filled with understanding. It's almost like they share a language of their own, one that fans catch only glimpses of, but enough to remind us of the depth between them. Let's make this interactive. What do you think is stronger? Words spoken publicly, or silent actions that stand the test of time? For Xiao Zhan, during those quiet moments when the world seemed to turn its back, it wasn't the trending hashtags or public support that held him up. It was Wang Yibo showing up, without fanfare, without needing applause. Just presence. And isn't presence the greatest gift anyone can give? Imagine Xiao Zhan at home, away from the cameras, perhaps lost in thought about everything happening around him. Imagine the phone buzzing, and it's Yibo checking in, not with a flood of words, but maybe something simple like, "Are you okay?" or "Let's meet up." Those simple gestures can heal wounds that the public never sees. And yet, as fans, don't we feel grateful to know that someone like Yibo was there for him, filling the silence with companionship? Now, let's talk about how their bond extends beyond just difficult times. Think about the way they push each other to be better. Yibo, with his fearless approach to life, motorcycles, dancing, pushing limits, has always encouraged Xiao Zhan to step out of his comfort zone. Meanwhile, Xiao Zhan, with his warm and thoughtful nature, grounds Yibo, reminding him of the softer sides of life. Together, they balance each other. Isn't that what every strong bond needs? A balance of energy, of strengths and weaknesses, creating a harmony that can't easily be broken. But of course, fans also see the lighter side. Remember those playful interactions, the teasing comments, the little laughs they share? That's the side that reminds us that their connection isn't built only on hardships, but also on joy. They are not just colleagues, not just co-stars, but something much deeper. And yet, they manage to keep it theirs, away from the constant gaze of the industry. That in itself is powerful. Love without the spotlight. Pause here for a moment and think, if you had someone who stood beside you during your hardest times, wouldn't you cherish them for life? Isn't it true that when the crowd disappears, only the real ones remain? That's the heart of Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo's story. Fans across the world often speculate about their relationship. Is it friendship? Is it more? But maybe that's not the point. The point is the purity of connection, the refusal to let external noise taint something so meaningful. And perhaps that's why their bond feels so sacred to those who watch from afar. Let's picture a scene together. You're sitting in a dimly lit cafe in Beijing. The city is buzzing outside, but inside, you spot two familiar figures sitting across from each other. One is listening quietly, the other is speaking softly. No cameras, no fans, no interruptions. Just two people, sharing thoughts, laughter, maybe even silence. That's the beauty of love without the spotlight. It doesn't need validation. It doesn't need to trend. It just is. Now, dear KBUZZPOP family, let's reflect. Isn't this the kind of connection we all wish for? Someone who doesn't walk away when the lights go off. Someone who knows when to speak and when to simply sit beside you. Wang Yibo has proven that for Xiao Zhan, and Xiao Zhan has shown the same in return. As we reach deeper into this story, let's engage with you directly. If you've ever had someone stand by you in your toughest times, you know how it feels. Share your stories in the comments below. Tell us, what does being there mean to you? Because as much as this is Xiao Zhan and Wang Yibo's journey, it's also a reflection of something we all seek: loyalty, trust, and love without conditions. And so, as we close this heartfelt story, remember that in an industry where everything seems fleeting, where friendships often fade under pressure, the bond between Wang Yibo and Xiao Zhan continues to shine, not under the bright glare of fame, but in the quiet, sacred places of the heart. Love without the spotlight is rare, but when it exists, it's the strongest of all. This is KBUZZPOP, and we'll keep bringing you stories that remind you not just of the stars you love, but the humanity that binds us all. Until next time, stay inspired, stay connected, and always remember, the brightest lights aren't always the ones on stage. They're the ones we carry for each other, quietly, faithfully, and forever.